Dun, 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 dun. I already know it's gonna take like 2 minutes or so before people start joining. Uh, 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 uh. I should eat like an actual big meal, but I'm not even hungry because I had Chick-fil-A for lunch, so I don't really need a really big meal. And I got some mac and cheese to go, but it's like they always burn the bottom of the mac and cheese, and I hate that. Like, I just be throwing it in the trash can. But right now, I don't know, like Chick-fil-A mac and cheese does taste pretty good. But every time I get like a giant tub of it, it just doesn't taste right. Like I'll get like size medium or something. I don't know. But this is my dinner. Literally just Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, and then I have like one of the little Hawaiian juices. And what else? Thought I had more chips. Hi, people. Hi, 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 hi. I also was gonna get some more tea or something, because I feel like I've just been like extremely bloated. Because my period is late, unfortunately. Should I eat in my room? Should I eat down here? I don't know. Hi, how are you? Hi, people. I'm good. I had like a long day of work. I work with kids, so the kids are being annoying. But I still got like a couple of new videos coming out, so if y'all want to like and subscribe, you could do that. Chick-fil-A. I don't know. I feel like before in the past when I used to get Chick-fil-A, it used to be like so good, but now it's just not. Or maybe I'm not hungry enough. I don't know. 3:40 a.m. Right here in America, on one side of it, it's 6:09 p.m. Goddamn. Them edges not hitting. I don't really do my edges. I like do it like tiny little swoop swoop, but working all day, they just don't stay down, especially in this humidity, so there's no point in me doing them. I don't know. I don't really care for it. You don't gotta look perfect all the time. Plus, my hair is not like, my hair is old right now, so I don't really care if my edges look good, because then it's like, my edges look good, but then my hair looks bad, so it's no point. How are they fake? Can edges even be fake? Do people who wear fake edges? I didn't know that. This is Chick-fil-A mac and cheese. Looks like this. There's not a lot of it in here. I was gonna get a medium, but it'd be costing too much. Like I think this tiny container costs like $3 or something. I should have just got the bigger one to eat for dinner, but I'm not that hungry because I had Chick-fil-A. But technically I did eat lunch at like noon, so it's been a whole 6 hours since then. But I beat her up behind Walmart. I wish. I would love to take out my anger that I've had over the past couple days or so. Are you on Instagram? Yeah, I have an Instagram, but I be blocking people on there because there's too much creepy men following me. So if you are a grown-ass man trying to follow me, I will probably end up blocking you. Just because I be blocking everybody. Like, I wish I had more of like a female audience, but unfortunately I don't. Goddamn. Thank you. But I just been trying to go on live to get my watch hours up because, you know, boy, what do y'all be talking about on here? Do I speak Spanish? Alguno español, pero no mucho. It's like I took Spanish for 7 years in high school, so I should be fluent in Spanish, but I have no one to practice it with, so I'm kind of like slowly forgetting it. And it's already been like 5 years since I was doing college, or maybe more than that. 5, I don't know. Gracias. Let me raise you up. I'm convinced that anyone that says the word Riz is younger than like 15. Cause I feel like grown men should not be saying that. Cause I'm so old. I like to be courted, not rizzed up. How is that Riz? Your game is sad. Those chin stinks. I am 26. I almost forgot for a second. I'm about to be 27. And I already feel so old because most of my friends are younger than me. So that's why I be feeling old all the time. That's why I need some like older friends. Because it must be like cool having older friends because then they can teach you stuff about like life or like jobs, relationships, and you know, you could play with their kids and then give them back, you know, stuff like that. But I don't have any kids, not in a relationship, none of that. Because all men do is stress you out, so there's no point. Chick-fil-A. I've never actually been to Five Guys. I like Chick-fil-A is like, I say it's only top tier fast food because some of it is fresh at least and their service is good. Whereas if you go to a Wendy's or McDonald's, like the food is gonna be like, you know, regular fast food, and it's like, I don't know, service isn't always gonna be good. How you skinny with neck rolls? How do I have neck rolls, bro? This is my normal neck. They're not rolls. Yeah. Five Guys, I've just never been there. Don't they sell like, I don't even know what they sell. Like sandwiches and stuff. But I didn't even know Five Guys was considered like fast food. I just put it in like a separate category, like, you know, burgers and stuff. Like how it's like Applebee's and stuff. I don't know. Well, technically Applebee's is like a restaurant, but I don't know. Yeah, see, I'm not really a burger person. I stopped eating burgers because the meat just started tasting weird to me. Because I used to eat burgers at like Wendy's and stuff, but now I'm more into like chicken sandwiches, I guess. And then hot dogs, I feel like that's kind of like stupid to go out and buy because I could just buy a pack of hot dogs and buy a pack of buns and then just put whatever toppings I want on it. So I never really liked the idea of like selling hot dogs on the street and stuff. And then milkshakes, I don't like milkshakes because I'm not like a big milk drinker unless I'm eating cereal. But I've never drank like just a plain glass of milk. I've never, but I don't know. I'm not really a burger person. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't really like a lot of toppings either. Like I don't like relish or mustard or mayonnaise or pickles. Like if I'm gonna get a burger, I only want like lettuce and tomato. And like I don't like cheese either. Night night. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really like a giant burger person. Did you like Superman or was Fantastic Four better to you? Well, first of all, I haven't been to the movies in like months. So I have not seen either. Like technically, I haven't seen like any recent movie that's came out. I haven't even seen that new Lilo and Stitch because people said it was bad. But people said Superman was good. But I've also never watched the original Supermans either. And then Fantastic Four, I like the original Fantastic Fours, like the ones with Chris Evans and Jessica Alba or whatever. But I feel like to watch a new one, it's just I don't know. I don't like how they keep remaking old movies. Like just come up with something new. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like green peppers. I'm literally not like a topping type of person. Like just give me like ketchup and then lettuce, tomato, and then occasionally onions. Like that's it. I'm 26. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the original movies of certain things are good. And the only thing I will like let it slide is when they remake the Disney princess movies and they remake the original ones with like a girl of like a different race or whatever. That's the only ones I like because then it's like you could just see a different person that you didn't see when you were growing up, I guess. But when you remake like other movies, like how it's like Fantastic Four, Fast and Furious, all those James Bond movies, all that stuff, like I don't like those remakes. Yeah, I know. Apparently YouTube thinks I'm 13. Usually I get like 10 years younger than me, which is I guess 17 because I'm about to be 27. But yeah, YouTube sent me like a warning yesterday and it was like, "Oh, we have to like X out your live or whatever because it said somebody between the ages of 13 and 15 is on live without parental supervision." And I was like, "Do I look like I'm 13, bro? Is that what like I'm registered by the computer? Like the computer AI, whatever the fuck is on our phones, just thinks I'm 13 or 15? Like that's crazy." Which is understandable though, because there are 13-year-olds that look older than me, especially when they're wearing makeup and stuff. Yeah, I do like the Black Little Mermaid, but that's only because when I was younger, you see all the Disney princess movies and they're all like, white little white girls. And then for Halloween, I felt like I couldn't dress up as Cinderella because Cinderella is obviously white and blonde, so I couldn't dress up as her, couldn't dress up as Sleeping Beauty, and then Mulan is Asian, whatever. And I guess like technically you could dress up as them, but I just wanted to match the character exactly. So I would always be like, dang, like I can't be any of these people for Halloween because they have blonde hair, they got brown hair, they're not black. Like, what am I gonna do? And then when they released Princess and the Frog, I was like, oh, this is amazing, right? And I was like, somebody that looks like me, whatever, whatever. And obviously that kind of sucked because she was a frog for the whole movie. So that was kind of annoying. But that's what they do with a lot of black characters anyways. But it was like now there's a black princess, right? So now that they're making all these remakes of like the old stories with different races, I feel like that's pretty cool because white people had all these little princess movies to watch when they were younger, but all the other races didn't really have anything to watch. So if they casted like an Asian girl to be like Cinderella, I would be like, oh, that's cool. Like I wouldn't really care about that because obviously people are like, oh, you need to keep it like the original, but like who cares about the original? Like why don't we just make a princess of every single race, so that way like little girls can see themselves as each princess, you know. So I don't really mind like the new Little Mermaid, how she's black, because that's cool, because Ariel was always like one of my favorite princesses, and I always thought mermaids were cool. So when they made that, and I was like, oh, that's cool, princess that looks like me, looks like a whole bunch of other little black girls, like that's cool. My daughter in the future could probably watch that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. What are you going as this year? I don't know what I want to be for Halloween. Sexy nurse. I've never been a sexy nurse. I've never been a nurse. Well, the thing is like you can't make Tiana white because it's based on a real black woman who was born in Louisiana. So you can't really change Tiana's race, because whenever like black people are typically casted, it has to do with something with history or based on a real person. So you actually can't remake Tiana white. And that the thing is, you can change Ariel, because Ariel is just a mermaid. She's a fake person, not based on anyone or anything like that. So you can change Ariel to literally anything else, because it's a fish. That's why it doesn't matter. Oh hi, that's funny. But yeah, certain things you can change, but sometimes it's based on a real person. That's why you can't change it. Like if they change Mulan, the Asian one, into a white princess, you can't really do that, because the whole storyline is her saving China, because it takes place in China. There's obviously going to be all Chinese people there. There's not going to be white people. There's not going to be black people. It's literally just all Chinese people. So, and she's like saving her country. The religion is important to it. So obviously she has to be Chinese. You can't just make her white or black or whatever. So certain princesses do have like the storyline that matters to them in a sense, or like they're based on a real person, like how Tiana is. They actually took the inspiration from a real woman, and they took like her struggle story, and then she ended up having her own business, like that type of thing, right? Instead of like Ariel, it's literally just a fake story with like a mermaid as the main character, and then obviously she falls in love with the prince, whatever. It's literally a basic story, no really like historical reference or anything. So that's why Ariel can be literally any race and it wouldn't really matter. Yeah, I don't know. I just like watching movies with black people more, just because I didn't really see that a lot when I was growing up. Because when I was growing up, it was just a whole bunch of like white people in every single movie. So I do like when Black Panther came out, I was like, this is cool. You got mostly black people in this movie. Takes place in Africa. They got all this technology. You got the black superhero. This is so cool. It was just something new. So that's why Black Panther was so successful. And then obviously it did a lot for the black community. So it just depends, like I said, what people want. Are you excited for Shrek 5? I mean, yeah, because I grew up with that, I guess. Yeah, I'm excited for Shrek 5. But I'm not gonna necessarily like run to the theaters. But I already know that they only casted Zendaya as one of the daughters, because she's like a famous young actress. So that's gonna make young people want to see it even more, even though the people who do already like Shrek are typically like in their late 20s, because that's when the first one came out. I mean, that makes sense because you have red hair, so you like Ariel, and then they change it. But the thing is, like, you don't have to watch the new version. The old version still exists. All the old dolls still exist. Like, it's still always gonna be there. So I don't really get why people complain about the new variations, I guess, just because she doesn't look like you. Because you're saying like you didn't fit in just because of your hair, but you still had a whole bunch of other princesses with the same skin color as you. So even if you do have red hair, you still could be Cinderella for Halloween, because you're still white, at the end of the day. So I don't really get the people who are mad just because they changed the race, because because if you're just mad about the hair color, right? Whereas all these other people, like Asian people before Mulan came out, and then obviously like black people before Tiana came out, we had nothing, you know. We here just sitting watching these white princesses every single day. Can't can't do anything about it. So it's like, I don't know. So I feel like it's like a good thing that they changed it up, because end of the day, that's what's gonna happen to the world. Like white people are gonna go extinct by like 2045 or whatever. Like no one's gonna be like 100% white. Like the whole world is gonna be mixed with like something, because obviously like, you know, interracial dating and whatnot. Why did they make Black Panther tribal? I mean, it does take place in Africa, and I feel like most of like African culture, they wanted to represent that, so that's why they showed the tribal aspect of it. But then they also did like parts of it that took place in America as well, where you get like white people and stuff like that. Would you date a 22-year-old guy from South Africa? No, I don't. I don't want to date anyone that's younger than me ever again. I can't do it. I'm mixed race, but I look black, so nobody believes me. I mean, that's understandable. Black people can look like any type of race. You know how there's like albino people and all that stuff. But yeah, when you look a certain type, that's how you get treated. Like black people are seen as beneath all the other races. Like they hate us, you know? So it's like once they see like a tiny drop of like melanin in you, like you're not kind of pale, you don't have like the white features or anything like that, then that's when they just be like, oh, you're definitely black. Like, but I don't know. I think it's me personally, I think it's a flex to be black, but mostly because I dated like two guys who were younger than me, and they were kind of like the most childish guys I've ever dated and the most toxic. And I feel like the way that my mindset is set up, I'm kind of like more mature than that. Like I'm ready to get married and have kids and just have like a serious relationship in general. Whereas guys in their early 20s or even their late 20s, they still want to party or go out a lot, and they have like a lot of female friends, or they don't want to have kids, they don't want to get married, they don't want to settle down in general, they don't want just one partner. So obviously like the older man you date, there's more chance of like them wanting to settle down or whatever. So that's why you see a lot of women date older guys. Like women usually just date older in general, because the technically the older you go, the more mature a man is supposed to be, even though apparently men don't mature until they're like 45 or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of stuff going on. What am I about to do? I got some videos for TikTok I gotta edit. Because apparently they're like getting rid of TikTok within the next year or so, for, like permanently. So I gotta try and like hurry up and get successful on TikTok within the next couple months, because people are apparently making like thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars on there. The thing is like you can say that, like, because I'm sure there are a lot of younger guys who are ready to settle down. They do want to be married with kids, and they do have a job, and they clean themselves properly, and they have a house and a car and all that stuff. But like realistically, like there are 22-year-olds or just early 20-year-olds who are mature. But I feel like in my mind, the way that I think, I just couldn't deal with somebody younger than me anymore, because I feel like I just couldn't take them seriously, even if they even if they are richer than me and just more successful than me. All this, they have all these things, right? I feel like at the end of the day, maybe I'm just too petty, or whatever. But I feel like every single argument that we have, because obviously even in good relationships there are arguments. I feel like every single argument I have with this person, I'll just be like, oh, well, you're younger than me. You don't know anything. I know more than you. You're younger than me. Like, that would be like my first go to response. Like, I just wouldn't be able to take a younger guy seriously. And then I would have like flashbacks to my exes and stuff like that. So, like you could actually be mature and ready and all that stuff. But it's just more like, I just don't want to go through that again, I guess. So that's more like a me thing, because everybody has their own preferences in general. So I just don't want to like, I'm just not even gonna risk that, because my first boyfriend was like 2 years younger than me, to the point where like I was in college, my first year of college, and then he was in like his last year of high school. And then we went to the same college, and then it was toxic and whatever, because he did have like childish traits, and he was liar, secretive, whatever. He didn't want to settle down. And obviously, who wants to settle down when they're fucking 19, right? But me personally, I've always been like a serious, loyal person, so it's just like whatever. And then this other guy I dated, a couple years ago, he was also like 2 years younger than me, but he also wasn't like serious. He probably doesn't want kids. He had like a bad family situation also. I don't know, just too much going on. And obviously that probably has nothing to do with age, but like that's just what I base it on, right? And then there was one time where I dated a guy who was like 3 or 4 years older than me. Like, I think he's probably like 30 or 31 now, but he was like the most mature relationship I ever had. He actually like treated me right and was like, let me take you on a date, or, made sure I was okay, just sent me like money if I needed something. Like, he was just more mature in that kind of aspect, but it just still didn't work out. But I feel like I did best in that relationship. So that's why, like, moving forward, I would just say that, like, I would just rather try it out with somebody who's like a little bit older than me. I don't know. That's just my logic, I guess. That's just my logic. I don't know how else I can explain it. Damn it. But yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. All I know is that I just can't date somebody younger than me anymore. I feel like I was most stressed out than anything else I've ever dealt with. And obviously, like, dating somebody older has risks too, because somebody older than you has like, they have lived they've lived longer than you, they have more experience with things, and they can teach you more things, but they can also manipulate you as well. So that's why I don't like those relationships, how a girl is dating a man who is like 10 years older than her, because in reality he just wanted like some young girl that he can easily manipulate. And obviously they think that younger women are attractive too, but a lot of times it has to do with the mindset, because they want someone they can be in charge with. So I do feel like 10 years older is also just too much older. I feel like me in general, I would want somebody who's like 2 or 3 years older than me, so that way you can still understand the references that I make. Because if I grew up watching SpongeBob and then they grew up watching some older show that I've never heard of, it's like, oh, not a lot in common. Or if they don't do, if they're like 10 years older than me and they don't go on YouTube or anything, and I'm on YouTube every day, or I'm on TikTok every day, and I'm trying to like be like, oh, look at this video I just saw on YouTube, isn't this funny? And then they're like, what's that? I don't know what that is. I don't know who those people are. It's like, really? So it's like I just won't have a lot in common with them if they are 10 years older than me, 10 years younger than me. I mean, you say there's a difference between man and boys. I feel like people just separate man and boys just so men don't have to hold themselves accountable. Like, how there's that one saying how it's like boys will be boys, but in reality, it's just people not teaching their boys properly, and then they grow up into a man, and they just grow up into a shitty man in general, you know? Like, there's no, like, such thing, I feel like, is like, oh, this guy is a boy and this one is a man. You want to date a man and you don't want a boy. I feel like there's no difference. Like, end of the day, they're all men. Even from when they're babies, they're all men, right? And a lot of the times, they don't change even when they're younger, because I teach kids, I teach like 5-year-olds, right? And you can see it in these little boys that it starts at a young age, how they just like disrespect women or whatever, or they don't care about stuff that the other little girls do, just like certain things like that, because it will be like a scenario where the girls and boys have to line up, right? So I'll see one of the little boys, you could see that he was raised properly because he lets the girls line up in front of him, or he lets them like sit down first, or he's like, oh, you can go in front of me, like when they're walking in front of a door, or he holds the door open for them. Like that type of thing is like taught at a young age. Whereas other boys, I see they just push past the girls, push them down. They aren't afraid to hit the girls, fight the girls. Like it's just is you could tell that it's like learned behavior, right? And a lot of this is taught from when the kids are little and when they're in school, because their parents don't teach them like how to court women or just be nice to girls in general, or like vice versa for the boys. So a lot of this terrible behavior about like men cheating on their wives or beating their wives and all that stuff, it stems from childhood. Because I'm probably not supposed to assume stuff as a teacher, but pretty much I take each kid and I like analyze them and I learn their personality and whatever. And it's sad to see, but like sometimes I'll just make like what is it called, like references in my head, and I think about how the kid is going to be when they're like a teenager, when they're an adult and all that stuff. So it's like I'll be looking at this one little girl and I'll be like, oh wow, she's so mean. I bet in high school she's probably gonna be a school bully. She's probably gonna be that one popular girl who excludes everybody. Or I see one of the boys and I'm like, oh, he's probably gonna end up having a mugshot in 20 years. He's probably gonna end up killing his family. He's probably gonna end up with psychological issues. I'd be like judging these kids. And obviously like it's not necessarily true. Like they might not turn into everything that you see when they're little, but it's just like I just be thinking things, okay? Like you think about that stuff as a teacher. You're like, wow, like I'm really raising the next generation. And even though you're only teaching the kids for a year, like if they're in kindergarten, you only have them for a year or whatever, but it's like you can do like everything in your power to help them at school, and teach them how to follow the rules or teach them how to respect everybody, love everybody, whatever. You could do all that, but if the parents aren't doing shit at home, it's not going to help. They're just going to like revert into the same terrible person that they are. You were raised by a single parent, but it depends though. Like, was it single dad or single mom? Because I've seen like, obviously there's like all these different theories how there's like a lot of different theories how like kids who have like boys who have sisters, they know how to treat their girlfriend correctly, or like boys who have like single mothers, they know how to treat girls correctly because they saw their mom struggle at a young age. Like you could say all of these things, but in reality it's up to the person to decide how they want to treat others, right? Because even if you do have like 5 or 6 sisters, you basically lived your whole life with women. But I feel like some of those guys that I knew or talked to, those ended up being the worst guys I knew, because I guess all those years living with like 6 girls in the house, they just ended up hating women. So next thing you know, they're on like these incel podcasts, and they're just saying how much they hate women, or like